fresh. We're doing it fucking fresh. That's the new intro for That's Good Sports. Welcome to the That's Good Sports Broncos Victory Podcast, presented by DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app, Will Keys. It is America's best-rated sportsbook app. Not Croatia's, not Zimbabwe's, not Australia's, not Brazil's, certainly not Chile's, not Colombia's, not Paraguay's, not Uruguay's, not Kazakhstan, not Russia's, but America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use code DNVR when you sign up to get their can't-miss offers when you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Oh my God, Will, we got a win. Broncos got a victory. And we shouldn't be surprised because it's the Jets, but it feels so monumentous. Monuments.
Feels good.
You could make a monument out of this game.
Feels great, baby. I think they should build a statue to Adam Gase walking off the field, sad and dejected. Did you just take your pants off?
No, they're still on.
Oh,
I can show some belly. I just wanted to, shout out to Joe Flacco, who did make an appearance in the game. I purchased this from the official Joe Flacco website back in the day. And every time I wore it, every time I wore it, the team Joe Flacco was playing for lost. And I thought, maybe I try that now that he's on the Jets, and it works.
No, you had the right idea. I wore Jets green today.
Ooh.
And I didn't think about it until the game, and I said, I feel like everything has gone wrong, that I might try to intentionally sabotage things and reverse the karma. And it worked. Lo and behold, 37-28. The Broncos are undefeated in the month of October.
Yeah. So, okay, man, we have had to scrape for our positive spins the first three games this year.
Only positives today.
Yeah, I just was on with Ryan and Zach on the Broncos DNVR podcast, and we kept reverting to all the things we wanted to complain about still. It was like, no, we just enjoy this win for a bit. Brett Rypien, 2 touchdowns, 3 terrible interceptions, but those 3 terrible interceptions were his only mistakes. Other than that, he played pretty damn good football. And when he threw those back-to-back picks, gave up the pick 6, the Jets got back in the game, he did not buckle. He just kept balling. And I think that was, other than some of his throws to Tim Patrick that were really impressive, I think I was most impressed by the way he handled, that late game adversity where we've seen this team just not give up, but just lose in horrific ways. I was ready for it to happen again, and it didn't. Freaking didn't.
No, you're totally right. He's kind of got the Daniel Jones thing where he just doesn't throw passes that touch the ground. I think Ryan talked about or tweeted about that several times, but he either throws it to the right receiver or he throws it to the Jets. I think he's got 4 interceptions on his career in 5 quarters, but hey, that's okay. I was impressed for the most part. You made some bad decisions. I would argue you shouldn't throw it to 3 defenders.
No,
but
if I had one complaint, it would be 3 complaints, and they're all the same complaint.
Tried to make plays, hit 3 deep balls down the field.
It's his first NFL start too.
Yeah, he's an undrafted rookie or undrafted second-year player.
Yeah,
I'm proud of our boy.
I am too. I think you had a good evaluation of him heading into the game. Also, so Melvin Gordon snuck over 100 yards, 107 rushing yards. So finally, instead of a guy doing that to the Broncos, where you look at the stat sheet and you're like, how the hell did that guy get 100? How the hell did Melvin Gordon get 100? He had that one big play at the end that sealed the game, but 107 yards for him. Jeff Driscoll, One rush, 9 yards. They bring in the Drisky on a rushing play. Love that. That's what I want to see from Pat Shurmur. I want to see that type of creativity.
The wild Jeff formation is 100% effective. Got the first down. Got a roughing the pass or enough unnecessary roughness penalty tacked onto it. I think the wild Jeff is here to stay.
Wild Jeff here to stay.
Even when Drew Lockett's back.
So yeah, the Jets 6 personal fouls. So they're just
that has to be some kind of record. But
yeah,
I honestly did not remember that Greg Williams was their defensive coordinator going into this game. I don't know how he still gets hired by teams. I guess it's because of what he did with Baker Mayfield and the Browns at the end of that 2018 season. But the man is just he's a bounty hunter. Really.
Yeah, he doesn't care. So
I guess he's a bounty setter.
Explain what happened at the end of the game, because Vic Fangio goes off the field yelling, just go to the fucking locker room. That's been like tweeted a million times. I wanted to watch the last 15 seconds or whatever, 30 seconds, but I decided to go downstairs and check on my wife and my child. And we were just talking about, the plan for the baby for the night. And so I came back upstairs. The game was over, and I saw all this shit. Did the Jets hit Rippon twice at the end of the game?
Twice. Yeah, so they had the Broncos were kneeling on first, second, and third down, and then 4th and 18, I think. And Gase took a timeout at the end with like 12 seconds left, something stupid like that. And so 4th and 18, instead of try a field goal again or punt, because that can lead to a turnover, they just had Rippon roll out to buy some time to the right, kill some clock.
I saw that play.
And each time a Jets defender came off the edge
and hit him,
blasted him as he threw the ball out of bounds, and got a roughing the passer penalty. So that eventually took up a little bit of clock, got them from 4th and 18 to like 4th and 3, and then eventually a first down, and then nailed it. End of the game. I knew something was going to happen there at the end. Garrett Bowles was kind of getting into it.
Yeah,
it wasn't just the coaches; it was the players too.
Yeah, and Bowles was ready to go fight for Fangio after the game. Fangio was reeling Bowles back in.
The court of public opinion is they're doing a 180 on Bowles.
Yeah, they are.
Bowles is becoming a folk hero.
He's going to be
the GOAT, and now he's a folk hero in Denver.
Yeah. Also, DeMar Dotson, I think, looks better than Elijah Wilkinson.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about this too, because it took them 3 weeks. Well, it took an injury to get DeMar Dotson on the field. And it took 3.5 weeks to get Devontae Bosby in at cornerback. Yeah. And all he did was break up like 3 passes. He looked great out there. Asing Bassi was getting kind of torched there by Jamison Crowder, who's a good receiver. That's a tough spot for an undrafted rookie. But it was time to give Bosby some run.
No shit.
And then O.J. Mudia looked really, really good on the outside. Really bullshit pass interference call.
Yeah, so
that was as well as you can play it down the field. And they got him for like hooking his wrist ever so slightly.
They were like both kind of touching hands there, and it just got in. And
they're playfully flirting down the field.
Yeah, the other guy was grabbing his jersey, so it was really stupid. So it was a deep pass. O.J. Mudia got flagged for pass interference, and it was perfect. Like you said, you couldn't play that ball any better. He also broke up a pass in the end zone right after Devontae Bosby did the same thing. Both targets to Chris Hogan. So it was nice to see, one, O.J. Mudia play good in coverage, and then confirm Bosby is good, like we have been saying since fucking preseason, which I brought up with, on the DNVR podcast, is because they were talking about guys that they wish would have been playing earlier, and Bosby is like when you lose when AJ Boye goes down, I don't know how people like us saw more out of Bosby last year to give us confidence that he could come in there and play. And the coach was like, no, let's go with these young rookies we took mid and late rounds in the draft and just throw them in there and fucking die with them as they take their lumps. Now, I will say OJ Moutier looks like he might be pretty damn good corner. So getting him on the field makes sense. But you want to put all three of your best guys out there. And then when AJ Boye comes back, maybe the Broncos are in a decent cornerback situation.
Yeah, Vic Fangio seems like someone who's willing to let his guys stay out there and take some lumps because it's a two-way street because they left Bassey out there a little too long. Obviously, they left Wilkinson out there too long. You could have benched OJ Moutier during or after the Steelers game, for Bosby, I guess, too.
Maybe you just didn't have a lot of options that game either.
Right. Instead, left him in there and played really well, I think. Great today. Pretty well last week. Overall improving. So I think, sometimes it's a good thing. Other times you just got to pull the plug. But
yeah,
I liked what I saw out of Vic Fangio. Timeout management was not disastrous today.
Nope.
The point, the way to avoid having to use your timeouts is to win by 2 scores, and you did a great job of doing that today. 8 points would have been 1 score. Managed to get 1 point over that. So I like the clock scoreboard management. That Melvin Gordon run at the end was pretty fucking electric.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom and came back and just saw him get into the end zone right at the end of that run. I was like, oh shit, I missed it.
Yeah. He ran into a brick wall of blockers, bounced outside, and then Brett Rypien sprinting downfield, throwing him the last block he needs to, scoot into the end zone. So that was like an awesome play because it looked bad, and then Gordon bounces it. But then you got your young QB throwing the most important block of the play. Like, as a football fan, you can't really ask for more than that in a single play to get you rock hard for football. Like, that's a perfect recipe for delight.
It was it gets you fired up. And at that point,
real fired up.
You're just like, I want them to put the camera on Adam Gase for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And I want to soak in every last minute of this. I kind of wish they had kicked the field goal at the end to make it 40-28.
They fucking should have. Should have rubbed it in his little schmarmy face. Tim Patrick, really good game.
Yep.
It's just like we've seen Tim Patrick's it's such an interesting player because one, Brett Rypien threw his best passes to Timmy Patrick. He finishes with 6 receptions, 113 yards, a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy had the other receiving touchdown. But, we've seen Tim Patrick play really well, and then it's there's been so much rotation with quarterbacks. It's like when the new quarterback comes in, they just forget he's on the field, and you're waiting weeks and weeks, and then, he kind of flashes again. But it was – I don't know. Nice to see somebody step up as that kind of bigger receiving target with Courtland Sutton down. And we knew Tim Patrick needed to be that guy, but clearly Brett Rypien trusts Patrick. So he got him involved in the game, made his best plays to him. And I don't know. I like it. Tim Patrick's like a guy you root for to have those types of games too.
Yeah, he kind of played like Courtland Sutton today.
Yeah.
Got in the end zone for the second straight week. I liked what I saw. KJ Hamler obviously went out earlier, which is
hamstring, and Noah Fant goes out with an injury. So that
I saw Adam Schefter tweet that Fant is okay.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, I said it's not bad. So I don't know if that means he's playing next week or what. Didn't
they got 10 days though.
Yeah, they do. Heal. That's and then you got the Patriots.
Yeah. And then guys like AJ Boye, will he be able to come back after this week? Is he on the
let's see. It's been
3-4 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks. So he should be able to come back.
So he should be able to return.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just felt good. Now, before the game, I tweeted, and I wasn't serious, but I said Rippon plus Darnold take the over, which seems like a good time to bring up this episode being sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. After the game, I tweeted, "Told you, idiots." It was my one piece of betting advice for the day. I crushed it because the Broncos scored 37 points. I don't even know what the over-under was, but I'm sure it was very low.
I think it was 40 or 41.
40. Okay, yeah, so it got crushed. I also picked the Broncos to score 28 in this game, and that was an underestimate. So nice to see me being right about some sports bookie action. Now, with DraftKings, use the code DNVR when you download the DraftKings Sportsbook, and they've got a once in a blue moon, red moon, any colored moon opportunity for all new users with that code, because you can place a $1 bet on any team. So if you bet on the Broncos tonight, like you should have, because this was their most likely game to win, you turn that dollar into $100. $1 will into $100. Download that DraftKings app now with the promo code DNVR. You can pick those teams to turn $1 into $1. You got to be 21 years or older, not younger. You just got to be older, and you can do this. You can do this if you are of age and if you live in Colorado. This is for a limited time, okay? Profit boost terms and conditions and eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. I'm getting both better and worse, you know? Okay. What else do we need to discuss from this game?
Bradley Chubb.
Oh, yeah,
coming
back. Chubb.
I thought he got a sack last week, but they didn't count it as a sack against Tom Brady. Yeah, that was kind of strange, I thought.
Why?
For all intents and purposes, it was a sack.
Yeah,
I think
Brady get past the line of scrimmage
1 yard
or something?
out of it.
Shit?
Yeah.
Stupid.
The guys who make those rules.
Yeah, speaking of that, Tom Brady did not get flagged for intentional grounding last week.
No.
When I rewatched that play, I was like, yeah, there was nobody in the area where he threw it. They really reached for a receiver. Brett Rypien does the same thing, and he gets flagged for intentional grounding in this game. Like, just the refs were shitty in this game. There was, besides the justified personal fouls from the Jets.
I was going to say they're kind of overworked.
They're a little flag happy, it felt like. But Bradley Chubb, you were saying?
Yeah, picked up, I think, either 2.5 or 3 sacks.
I think they gave him 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks healthy. I mean, Darnold kind of sacked himself at one point, and that accounted for the half sack. But it's just so good to see him back there. And he got a nice quarterback hit, I think, that caused an errant throw early on in the game.
Yeah.
So he's looking strong. I think Malik Reed was thoroughly blocked for most of the game. But hopefully he can get things together. Shelby Harris came out of the game, which is, why not at this point?
It looked like cramps and then looked like maybe something serious or more serious. I don't know what his status is. That's a guy they can't – I mean, they've already lost so many guys.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really say that. Like, they can lose anyone.
But, yeah.
This has to be one of the most injured teams of all time, right?
Oh, I think so. I say that, and then there's a lot of people who want to debate me about it on Twitter, but they're not paying close enough attention.
Yeah, like, well, the 49ers have it worse. No, the injury gods did you a favor and got Nick Mullins on the field.
Yeah, well, I guess, are we going to be saying that about Brett Rypien now?
I don't know. So, I mean, here's the
Ooh.
question. Did he do enough to make you feel comfortable having him as the long-term backup?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
If Drew Lock
I agree
got
with you.
Yeah, if Drew Lock got hurt again and Brett Rypien's got to come in the game, like I feel so much better than if I feel better if it were him over Joe Flacco. I feel better
Yeah.
than Jeff Driscoll for sure. I'd put him like, I don't know. I'd feel okay if it was Case Keenum. I'm just going back to other Broncos quarterbacks. Case Keenum to me is like a great backup quarterback to have.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Rippon just showed that he knows how to play the game. And I don't know. I guess we should hold off judgment until we see him play a better team, and he's going to play a better team, assuming, Lock's shoulder isn't a miracle away from starting against the Patriots. But I think he can handle it. He made just a lot of his interceptions were just mistakes that I feel like are correctable.
The first one obviously very correctable. The second, or maybe it was the second or the third one, where he threw into triple coverage.
There's the second one. The second one.
You just gotta not throw into triple coverage next time. That's really all it comes down to. I don't really remember much of the third one. But the thing that impressed me so much was how good he was against the blitz. It felt like every time the Jets blitzed, he knew it was coming, knew where it was coming from, was able to slide away from pressure, give the running back a chance to pick it up.
Yeah.
I thought the running backs who were on the field did a really nice job picking up extra blitzers.
Gordon and Freeman both had to pick up blitzes, I noticed a few times, and I was scared it was going to end badly, but I was like, oh, shit, yeah, they got him. They got the guy.
Yeah.
Nice to see.
Yeah, Rippon knew the hot read pretty much every time. Even if it didn't pick up a first down, he knew which guy to get the ball to.
Right. Jerry Jeudy, that deep pass, little underthrown. Jeudy just comes down with it.
That's who you should – yeah, I mean, that's a good – if you got Jerry Jeudy out there, maybe he's one of those guys where you just throw it up and give him the 50-50 ball. It's a good thing to have on offense.
Somebody tried to tell me that wasn't an impressive play by Jeudy.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I know Desir missed it, but Jeudy timed it perfectly.
Jeudy cut it over his face and then scored the touchdown. I don't know what's not awesome about that. It's like
there's some people just can't be satisfied.
No, they can't. I told him I'm not trying to call him out, but I told him if you're not impressed by that play, stop watching football.
Seriously. Yeah, it's that should have been intercepted. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
A lot of plays should be touchdowns, and all right, and a lot of plays are interceptions, and should be interceptions, and all right. So hey, just enjoy it, man.
Enjoy it. How worried were you when Sam Darnold looked like Lamar Jackson on that touchdown run to start the game?
Okay, so I missed that play too. I walked in the kitchen for a second, and then came back and was thoroughly disgusted with what I saw when I replayed it.
It was insane.
Abominable tackling.
It was insane because it wasn't just that it was bad tackling. It was bad tackling from Alexander Johnson, Justin Simmons, and Kareem Jackson all in one play. Three guys you don't think are going to ever miss a tackle, all whiffed on Sam Darnold, who isn't known for his mobility. I guess him and Drew Lock are similar where they can, they're young and spry. They can make guys miss, but I was like, oh, this might be a long night. It felt like one of the worst plays I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, it felt like one of those plays at the end of 2017 when everyone had clearly just given up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe at the end of that run, it looked like Darnold was going to slide for a second, and maybe they expected him to slide and kind of gave up.
Maybe.
So that could be what it is. And that shit kind of happens just because
all those guys bounce back.
Quarterback. Yeah.
Not saying they all play.
It's just fluky thing.
just so weird to see 3 of your best defenders all whiff on one play because Johnson had him dead to rights for a sack, and he just couldn't wrap him up.
Yeah.
But so with
good
all
blitzing
of that,
night from the Broncos.
What's that?
A good blitzing night from the Broncos.
Yeah.
That play aside, because Josie Jewell got in and got a couple sacks. He got a couple sacks, and then he was covering guys down the field too.
Yeah, he
broke up a couple passes.
He missed a tackle too and missed on a coverage as well. But if they're going to use him to blitz, and you just keep Alexander Johnson as more of your cover guy, like go for it.
Yeah, and I don't know why the Jets were trying to throw the ball to Frank Gore on wheel routes in the end zone. But the Frank Gore thing just mystifies me because Joe Buck was going, well, they like LaMichael Pirine, the 4th rounder. I was like, okay, well, why don't they just give him 20 carries a game and put Frank Gore on the sideline? The man can't run for more than 4 yards.
Gore finished 13 carries, 30 yards, so 2.3. When I checked it, he was averaging 1.9 yards per carry earlier. Sam Darnold, leading rusher for the Jets with 84 yards. Joe Flacco was perfect, 2 of 2 for 16 in his short time on the field. The Jets, their offensive line is really banged up. So Chubb was playing an injured Mekhi Becton. So that's a rookie, also injured. And then
they were down to their 3rd string left tackle.
And then another tackle comes in and another guy leaves. So rough go around for the Jets up front. And with all that said, like Darnold, he's just in such a shitty situation because he made some nice plays. He still makes some plays that he wants back, but you're like, how much of that is just because like nothing is working? Like your run game's not working. You've got Jamison Crowder as your number 1 dude. Your unnamed player, Lawrence Cager, goes down with like a fucking hamstring injury that looked pretty bad.
Yeah, it looked like he got shot in the back of the leg.
Yeah, it's like Chris Hogan doesn't look good, but he's like the 2nd best option out there. I would feel really bad for the Jets if they didn't have an evil head coach. Yeah. What's that?
I said Chris Hogan on some kind of substance.
Yeah, I tweeted a joke about that.
Whatever Gase was on too, yeah.
Hogan's eyes are always just like –
so bizarre. Yeah, they're ready to bulge out of his head.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what happens when you go from the Patriots to the Jets.
Whatever. The Broncos beat the Jets with more interceptions than touchdown passes. That's an impressive way to do it. Anything else? I felt like there's one.
Who's your player of the game?
See, this is tough.
Because we got a good performance out of Judy, Patrick, Melvin Gordon, Bradley Chubb, Josie Jewell.
Throw in McManus, too. He was clutch.
The Gooch Slayer was splitting some wet gooches.
What if I point – because this is going to be the big dick player. So I will save this for tomorrow in the recap episode as my final decision. But if you were going to lean towards – I know who I'm going to give it to. Who would you pick?
I'm going to go with Tim Patrick.
Solid choice.
I think he in the fact that they lacked a number 1 X receiver, he stepped up, picked up 100 yards, got in the end zone for his 2nd straight week.
Yep.
All that with, a couple backup quarterbacks. Jerry Jeudy, I think, had a case, but
he only had 2 catches.
He only had 2 catches. He has probably the play of the game.
Yeah, it was a great first touchdown to get.
Yeah, for both of those guys.
Yeah. And
I think you got to split the ball in half and give them each half.
Maybe we'll give Judy something for his dance afterwards. He's gonna celebrate.
Yeah.
It's gonna be entertaining when he does.
I think high T play of the game should be an official.
Oh yeah, definitely high T. And I'll just spoil it.
That was very high T.
I was going to pick Tim Patrick too, so I'm just spoiling it.
There you go.
I just thought he was a difference maker, and
Same.
Chubb's close, but like I want to see Chubb do it against a better offensive line first.
I agree. I mean, you could make a case for Rippon too if you wanted to.
Oh,
just
easily.
Coming in as an undrafted second-year player and getting a win.
That block, high T play.
That's
high T.
Very high T. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the podcast recap. We were excited to do this one. It's late. I'll be up to do the first late feeding of the baby, so that's a positive. I just don't want to wake my wife up. We're going to have a nice recap tomorrow on the main channel. And Will is no longer on Tinder, so don't hit him up on there anymore. He's getting real sick of it.
No, yeah, you guys have to stop messaging me.
Yeah, all of you guys.
It's crashing my phone.
Stop messaging Will.
Oh, you girls, I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good night.
Good night.
Good luck.
There you go.